Howdy, gang. We are live again. About to dive into Clancy's EndWar in honor of the our pending end of the world, World War III that's about to happen here in the near future. The way things are going, we are going to play this game before that happens and live stream it and see what happens. I've not played this game in about 10 years, so I forgot a lot of it. I had forgotten that I had purchased this on Xbox Live Marketplace probably about 4 or 5 months ago. It was before the holidays, and I just forgot that I had it, and I just happened to be looking down my list here of over 700 Xbox games on my Series X, and I just happened to notice it. It's like, oh, I never actually played this version of it, so we're gonna jump into this one here. I don't really know or remember much about this game. I owned it on the PS3. Shows my age and how long ago I had it. I bought this game on the PS3 way back in, I think it was 2012. What's this here? Watch the intro. Up, current gas prices. Harbinger of things to come. Show the inflation, food prices, current gas prices, Joe Biden's America, Putin invading Ukraine, China wanting to conquer everybody. All the players are here, apparently. Let's see, what are we doing here? Oh, that's how old this game is. It's showing the old 360 controller. We won't be doing the voice command mode because I'm live streaming and I don't know what the voice commands are. Let's just voice chat, voice command, menu. Well, maybe we'll try it out. We'll see. I do have the capability because I'm wearing a headset right now. Primary action, not free look, special action, hold, camera move. Alright, let's just keep things the way they are. World War III campaign. Prelude to War story missions and the World War III campaign. Well, doesn't that sound familiar, folks? I really hope they include Ukraine in here. Probably the most worthless country in the world at this point. I'll just be political right here now. What is Ukraine as a country? What have they given to the world over the past 30 years of their independent existence as a country? I can't think of a single thing that Ukraine has contributed to the world, aside from maybe wheat. But Russia provides wheat. Russia provides more wheat than Ukraine has. You know, Russia is the world's leading, I believe they remain as the world's leading supplier in a fertilizer, or at least they were before all the sanctions I started against them. And really, I don't know. As you can tell, I'm not a fan of either country. Both Russia and Ukraine can kill themselves for all I care. You know, let them destroy themselves. You know, They brought nothing to the world but trouble. And really, as a country, America is not that far behind them. There, now that I've got that out of my system. Let's get on with the fun here. The multiplayer campaign on Xbox Live. Skirmish missions now. Now let's go to Soul. New campaign. We'll do the Prelude to War. I guess I have no choice. It's not letting me do World War III, so okay.
Welcome, Commander, to the Revolutionary Overlord Battle Command Interface by Masada Systems Limited. Today you'll learn how integrated voice command protocols empower you to make war at the speed of thought. To begin, make sure that your headset is connected with your microphone about 2 centimeters from your mouth. Issuing a command is a lot like using a walkie-talkie. First, press the right trigger. Then, speak your orders. And finally, release the trigger. Use of Overlord voice command protocols requires enrollment with a verified voice print. Press the trigger, say your name or a few words of your choice, and release the trigger.
Russia and Ukraine suck. Russia and Ukraine suck.
Very good. Voice print enrollment initiated. Our next step will enhance the accuracy of your voice print while giving you a chance to practice command protocols. Most commands consist of 3 parts: who should follow the command, what they should do, and where they should do it. When the right trigger is pressed and held, key words will appear on screen. You can simply read them like this. Unit 12, move to Bravo. Let's have you try it. Say the words displayed on screen, keeping your voice level within the optimal middle zone.
Unit 1. Attack. Alpha.
That was not understood. Try again. Say the words displayed on screen, keeping your voice level within the optimal middle zone.
Unit 1. Camera.
In position and holding.
Unit 1. Secure. Alpha.
Roger. Secure uplink.
Deploy. Gunships.
That was not understood. Try again. Say the words displayed on screen, keeping your voice level within the optimal middle zone.
Deploy. Gunships.
That was not understood. Try again. Say the words displayed on screen, keeping your voice level within the optimal middle zone.
Deploy.
That was not
Gunships.
understood. Try again. Say the words displayed on screen, keeping your voice level within the optimal middle zone.
Deploy. Gunships.
That was not understood. Try again. Say the words displayed on screen, keeping your voice level within the optimal middle zone.
Deploy.
That was not understood. Try again. Say the words displayed on screen, keeping your voice level within the optimal middle zone.
Deploy. Gunships.
That was not understood. Try again.
Fuck off. You understood that, didn't you? 2016, the end of oil.
Nuclear terrorism in Saudi Arabia kills 6 million and cripples the world's oil supply. 2017, the joint U.S.-European missile shield goes live. The world celebrates the end of nuclear warfare. The stage is set. Now the world's leading supplier of oil and natural gas, Russia spends billions on the biggest arms buildup since the Cold War. The European Federation is created with a population and GNP greater than the U.S. 2020, America begins assembly of the Freedom Star military space station. The end has begun.
Calling the Balkans an anarchy of failed states, President Becerra blamed the European Federation for abandoning the region.
Unable to guarantee access to petrol, the governments of many Balkan nations simply evaporated.
Europe can criticize our Venezuela policies once it's dealt with the crisis in its own backyard.
Unlike the US, we do not play policeman beyond our borders.
General, satellite imaging shows tanks offloading from the ship and moving to attack our uplinks along the Adriatic coast.
Have Colonel Maldini log on immediately. Colonel Maldini, Europa is under attack by forces unknown. An unregistered cargo ship ran aground on the coast of what used to be Croatia, then offloaded a dozen or more T-80 tanks that are now firing upon the missile shield uplinks we maintain across the border, in the lawless zone. I have ordered regular infantry units stationed at Fort Turun to repulse the attack and take hold of the cargo ship, so we can determine who is behind this attack. Your gunships will provide close air support. Capitan Chumino will serve as your executive officer. For Europa, Colonel, ensure the success of your mission.
Okay.
Colonel Maldini has logged onto Overlord. Data stream is secure. Camera on Zircon. Gunships designated Unit 1. Unit 1 cleared to engage Hostile 1, displayed on HUD.
Oui, Central. Happily.
Attacking.
Engaging the enemy. Hostile.
Unit.
Uplinks Bravo and Foxtrot under attack. Designated BNF on mission radar.
Unit 1. Unit 1, move to Foxtrot.
Unit 2 entering mission area.
Unit 5, camera.
Good work.
This is Tungsten. All birds flying high.
Zircon here. Holding at position.
Hostile 3 still operational. Let's take care of them.
Unit 1. Unit 1, attack 1.
Well done, Colonel. Hostile 4 still operational. Unfinished business.
Zircon here. All birds are up. On the move, Central. In transit, Central.
Massive detonation at the cargo ship. They've blown it up.
Tungsten here. All birds flying high. Underway.
Try and get the hang of this.
Moving out.
Excellent work, Colonel.
Moving out.
All hostile armor destroyed. Uplinks are secure.
This is High Command. What is the extent of damage to the ship?
The destruction is total, General. It's still burning.
I want a full investigation of the wreckage. We need to know who was behind this attack. Until we do, details of this mission are to be considered classified. High Command out.
Evolution of the Marines. The JSF is renowned for air and ground combat, embodying the motto. Never mind.
In just a few minutes, the Freedom 4 will launch into orbit on its mission to complete the Freedom Star, America's first manned space defense station.
Tens of thousands took to the streets of Paris to protest the imminent launch of America's orbital battle station. Despite the outcry, the U.S. president has vowed the launch will go forward as scheduled.
That we're going to launch this thing, there's no stopping us. Wait a minute, wait. I think we've heard some explosions.
Mayday! Perimeter breach north of the launch pad. Multiple vehicles opening fire.
Colonel Taylor, Kennedy Space Center is under attack by unknown forces. All we do know is they've got serious military hardware. I'm putting you in charge of the JSF units we had on routine standby for launch security. The Space Center's defense force will do their best, but without our help, they don't stand a chance. Whoever these vermin are, we can bet they've come here to destroy the Freedom 4 lifter. I don't think either one of us wants $35 billion deducted from our paychecks, Colonel. So wipe them out before they touch it. Major Dennison will serve as your XO. Get to it and do America proud. Mitchell out.
Sir, yes, sir.
Colonel Taylor taking the helm. Data stream secure. Camera on IFV Platoon Traveler. Designated Unit 1. The Freedom 4 is taking fire, sir.
Deploy riflemen.
Total remaining reserves. Use Unit 1 to engage Hostile 1. Fastback IFVs will shred gunships. Hostile forces attacking from the northeast and northwest. Well done, sir. We need to get more forces on the ground ASAP, sir.
Mitchell here. The hostiles launched their attack from a cargo ship that ran aground about 2 clicks north of the Space Center. Whoever's behind this had resources and lots of prep time. You've inflicted heavy losses on them. Keep it up. You've got another wave inbound. Mitchell out.
Schwarzkopf tanks are more than a match for IFV transports.
Good job, Colonel.
On the way. Affirmative.
Come on, you guys, learn how to drive.
Moving out. Yes, sir.
Thunder here. Come on. Yeah, disengage. Hostiles are in range, so we are engaging. Yes, sir.
Oh, what are you doing?
We can't touch him! Yeah, disengage. Copy that. Score it there. Execute. Yeah, disengage. Come and get it, you crap hound!
All hostiles destroyed. Freedom 4 is secure.
Mitchell here. The situation is bigger than we knew, as in global. The European Federation and Russia are under attack as well.
By the same hostiles, General? Who are these people?
Unknown. But if they aren't afraid to make enemies of 3 superpowers on the same day, they're capable of just about anything. I'll be coordinating Homeland Defense operations. Expect new remote command assignments inside 5 minutes.
Of course, General. We'll be ready.
Okay. This is supposed to be like a tutorial. Anyway, I guess the real game begins when World War III starts. So, and I don't think I've ever made it as far as World War III in this game. So, Because I haven't played my PlayStation 3 in like 2 or 3 years. Since the COVID lockdown, I think. Or even before that.
A vast facility processing 100% of Europe's domestic oil and 35% of Russian imports.
Mayday! RPE is under attack! Multiple armored vehicles attacking the outer perimeter!
We're seeing some kind of ship beached on the coast. We're taking fire.
Colonel Maldini, the RPE refinery at Rosenberg, Netherlands has been attacked and occupied by a hostile force. The assault was launched from a beached cargo ship, so obviously the opposing force is the same one that attacked our uplinks in Croatia 12 days ago. I have regular infantry troops in position to retake the refinery before it can be damaged further. Your battle group's armored vehicles and helicopter gunships will ensure the success of this assault. If the refinery is destroyed, the blow to our nation's energy security will be irrevocable. Do not fail today, Colonel. Do not fail Europa.
Alright.
Colonel Maldini has logged on. Data stream secure. Camera on Unit 1, tank platoon, call sign Matterhorn. The mission support display shows available reinforcements, as well as total reserves remaining.
This is Zircon. All bells are up.
Explosions inside the refinery compound. We have to hurry, Colonel. They're taking the place apart. Zoom optics can be used to scout the battlefield and analyze enemy movement.
That's the key.
This is Zircon. We are opening fire at contact.
Detected hostile units are displayed on mission radar. Hostile deployed. Panther tanks easily outmatch IFV transports.
Hostile hit. That's what we do.
Gunships are perfect tank killers. Colonel, some fresh intel. The same hostiles have attacked Kennedy Space Center in the US and Russia's prototype fusion reactors near Minsk. We need to know who these people are. Excellent work, Colonel.
Moving out. Engaging hostiles.
Zircon here. All bells are up.
Good job, Colonel.
We won't let you down. We need a kit.
They're in danger.
We are opening fire at contact. We need a kit. On the move, Central. Oui, Central. Retreat. Confirmed. In transit.
Matterhorn here. All machines are like new. Confirmed. We are outbound. Confirmed. Rubbery squeak. Just a machine.
All hostiles neutralized.
Got him?
Refinery is secure.
This is High Command. The group behind the attacks is broadcasting claims of responsibility across the extranet in 18 languages. Here.
The Forgotten Army fights for those left behind when the oil dried up. Today, we have struck our oppressors with their most vulnerable. Let them burn, just as Africa and South America and the Balkans have burned. We gladly give our lives in direct action instead of waiting to die by famine or disease. Rise up and follow our bold example. Though we be an army of the forgotten, remember our action always.
The ideology is clear, General, but how do the have-nots of the world get their hands on military hardware?
Precisely my question, Captain. This is what we must learn.
That's how old this game is. This game came out in, I think it was 2011, if I'm not mistaken. So this is like telling the future back then, which is our current state of affairs today. So, and I guess Tom Clancy had written the book on it. So his vision of what happens in the future isn't too far removed from what's going on right now. Like right now, you got China. They're threatening to take over the South China Sea, the West Philippine Sea. We got American troops and the Navy, American Navy. They're setting up like bases in the Philippines. China's been encroaching on the Philippines. Everybody knows about that huge oil field in the West Philippine Sea. Everybody wants it. And to be fair, America would not be over there right now if what's very likely going on is the Philippines are offering them a cut of oil from that gigantic oil field that's right off the coast of the Philippines, so right off the coast of Luzon Island. So interesting how the world has turned out not too far removed from the events going on in this game right now. So it's pretty interesting. Keep on going here. Survived Russia.
Three attacks have been confirmed. JFK Space Center, of course, but also an oil refinery in the Netherlands, and now Russia's flagship fusion reactor complex near Minsk.
A group calling itself the Forgotten Army is broadcasting claims of responsibility across the extranet.
They are about to attack, General. Finally, 12 minutes behind schedule.
Their name is no joke. They even forget to show up on time. Amateurs.
Save early, save often. Remember that rule, kids.
Good afternoon, Colonel Saveloff of the 8th
We're
Spetsnaz Guards
Russians
Brigade. Your forces are stationed at the fusion reactor complex east of Minsk. Because it is about to be attacked, you will hold out heroically for a while, and then reinforcements will become available and you will crush the attack with finality. It is permissible if buildings take some damage, as this will look good for news cameras. But do not let the enemy destroy anything of significance. Your after-action report will state that this was a surprise attack. Failure to do so will result in severe consequences. That is all.
That sounds just like a Ruski. Take your average Ruski. We all know how much guts he's got. I mean, look what he did with all those like Nazis, and then they still wouldn't quit. That's a movie quote. I'll tell it to you because it's so long ago. The movie was a Dr. Strangelove, 1964, a Stanley Kubrick classic. Long before he did the Shining, he did like Dr. Strangelove. It was a movie that parodied World War III was about to happen, and classic comedy, a dark comedy. Definitely worth checking out. That was a quote by General the Buck Turgidson in the movie, played by George C. Scott was the actor. Of course, we all know who George C. Scott was. After that movie, about 6 years later, he did the movie we all know and love, The Patton, which came out in 1970. Yeah, Doctor Strangelove. Definitely worth checking out. I just say up and order it off Amazon. Just buy it. You know, do yourself a favor. You will not be disappointed. So, all right, here we go. I got these guys. Infantry. That should be interesting. Rolling infantry and cover.
Savilov is logged on. Data stream is secure. We need to put our combat engineers into cover, Colonel, or they are useless and good is dead. Try to minimize casualties, okay? We'll have no reinforcements until mission supports come online. Ah, here they come. The surprise attack the news said started happening 15 minutes ago.
Okay, we move.
This is Tortoise. All beasts ready for combat. Exterminate, of course. We will do our best, sir.
Need no backup. We have no cover here. Certainly, yes. We have cover. cover.
All engineer units are in cover. Good. Now we must defend Alpha at all costs. Combat engineers are not cover ground. Are you not paying attention?
Fire at here. We have cover.
You heard about the other attacks, da? The US and Europe have been hit as well. Another wave of idiots. They are persistent.
This is Tortoise. They are grinding us into dirt.
Cockroach IMCs are a gunship's worst nightmare. These clowns do believe in their cause, eh? We're halfway to mission support coming online. We just have to hold out.
This is Thermite.
You can retreat damaged units if you take it easier. They never get better than die.
Get down!
This is Thermite. Under fire and no cover.
We have multiple engineer units exposed. No cover.
Badger here. All squads hungry. This is Thermite. We are in cover.
This is Tortoise. Taking heavy fire.
Good unit 4. Their right south.
Badger here. This is Thermite. All squads strong. Fire at here. For that. Okay. Under fire and no cover.
We should stick infantry in cover where they will bleed less.
This is Badger.
Oh, my inventory's okay. By the look of it.
Thermite here.
Oh, shit. Going out of the sky. Boom.
Check northwest quadrant. Hostile deployed. One of their commanders, a Croat, tried to attack Europe all on his own a couple of weeks ago. You heard? All he accomplished was to blow himself up. We need reinforcements on the ground right away, Colonel. We can get reinforcements now, should we end up needing them.
Cool. That's a big helicopter.
This is Termite. All squad strong.
This is Sleeper. Orders delivered.
Acceptable losses. All hostiles destroyed.
This is headquarters. I compliment you on a superb military response to an attack we never saw coming.
How did things go at Kennedy and in the Netherlands, General?
A forgettable showing. No significant damage inflicted anywhere.
If this is the best the oppressed peoples of the world can do, they deserve their misery.
All a means to an end. We have planted the seed. Now we water and watch it grow.
That's how your cold, hard commie thinks. Tortoise was killed in action. Oh.
What citizens want to know is, who was behind the April 4th attacks?
All three governments are carrying out separate investigations to learn who funded the terrorists and supplied them with military hardware.
The evidence is conclusive. Minister Palan set it up.
Europe's defense minister. This is gonna be tricky.
America is going for debate, General. They're planning to abduct Boulain while he's visiting Copenhagen to inspect its uplink network.
When they go in, make sure the Danish police get an anonymous phone call.
This is Crash Cart. We have precious cargo in hand, but extraction has failed. Repeat, extract has failed. Mission site compromised. We are surrounded and pinned down.
Uh-oh. Europe's the defender, USA is the attacker. Big surprise. Like when America blew up the Nord Stream pipeline over there right off the coast of Germany, I believe. Like, was it a couple months ago? Or a while back. Yeah, America were the bad guys in that one. Or I should say, Joe Biden was the bad guy in that one. He made the call, he gave the order. It's all right there, and it's public knowledge. You can research it if you want. But all all fingers seem to be pointing at America as being the ones responsible for blowing up Nord Stream. I mean, who else has the capability of doing that? They're trying to say Ukraine did it, but Ukraine don't know anything about water. I don't even know if Ukrainians even know how to swim, you know. That's just a bad joke, but the whole thing's a bad joke. What better way to do than just to make fun of the whole thing? Because the whole thing's just flat out ridiculous. And all it's doing is wrecking the global economy, so to hell with them. To hell with everybody involved, you know. I would almost say that we deserve World War III to happen because of... there are no good guys in this one. Everybody's responsible. It's just the cold, honest truth there, folks.
Colonel Taylor, best case outcome for this mission is we cause a major international incident. And worst case is we start a war with Europe. Though given what I'm about to tell you, maybe that's not such a bad idea. Within 24 hours of the April 4th attacks, 3rd Echelon had found incontrovertible evidence that the Forgotten Army was secretly funded and supplied by Europe's defense minister, Francois Poulain. What that means is a conspiracy within the European government to destroy the Freedom 4 lifter. The other attacks? Diversions, to throw us off the scent. Make it look like Europe was a target too. Here's where it gets complicated. We sent in a Black Ops team to snatch Poulain in Copenhagen, but the mission got blown and they're pinned down in one of the city's uplink towers. Poulain's our only shot at finding out how high this conspiracy went. Maybe all the way to President Perot herself. So we're going in, and we're bringing him out. ESCOM has crashed Copenhagen's uplink network to give you safe passage in. Your job is to defend Alpha at all costs until we can extract Poulain. Don't mess this up, Colonel. Get to it.
Colonel Taylor taking the helm. Data stream is secure. Forces inbound on DZ at Alpha. We have clear skies. Copenhagen's uplink network is on.
This is Crash Cart. Rebooted Alpha. Precious cargo still in our possession. Holding for extract.
European forces closing on Alpha, sir. We must defend it at all costs until mission supports come online and we can secure extraction of the VIP.
This is Thor. Prospects ready to roll.
Highlighting on the HUD, some structures our engineers can use as cover points. Let's get them in there ASAP.
Joker here. All squads vertical.
Wildcard here. All squads are good. You got it.
This is Blue Cap. All rollers running smooth.
Infantry in buildings have longer range. If the reticle's range number is green, it won't have to move to attack. Excellent work, sir. Center quadrant. Hostiles in motion. Eyes on marksman artillery vehicles.
Viper here. All Eagles aloft. Boxcars here. Artillery fire on our position.
Come and get it, you crap hounds!
Use fastback IFVs to knock gunships out of the air. Check south quadrant. Eyes on Cheetah gunships.
Hostiles are taking hits.
Time to slaughter some prisoners.
Wildcard. We've secured the building. Yes, sir. Moving. Affirmative, sir. Yes, sir. Moving.
Blue Cap. All rollers running smooth.
can let the hostile unit evacuate or attack it again to finish it off.
Look at you. That is a kill.
Check center quadrant. Hostile destroyed.
We are engaging.
Got more troops landing.
Viper here. Foxtrot here. Artillery fire on our position.
Center quadrant. Hostile eliminated.
This is Viper. Hostiles in range. Opening fire.
That was quick. Kick their asses. Why am I worried with all this money if I'm not spending any of it? That's kind of weird. I get to spend it later.
Breaking news of fighting between American and European forces in the streets of Copenhagen.
Responded to an anonymous tip that American spies were about to kidnap Defense Minister Poulain.
President Becerra claiming the U.S. is acting on conclusive evidence of a criminal conspiracy within the European government to destroy the Freedom 4.
More U.S. forces have landed into Copenhagen. Every indication is that another round of fighting is about to begin.
Colonel Mandini, 40 minutes ago, the United States of America crashed Copenhagen's uplink network, invaded by air, occupied European soil, and initiated combat operations against our forces. Our first attempt to drive them from the city failed, but now we have units in position to mount a determined counterattack. IWCE will expend a satellite to recrash the city's uplinks. Your forces will secure and reboot the network. Once we have achieved electromagnetic dominance, the Americans will have no choice but to surrender or flee. Theirs was an act of unprovoked aggression, Colonel. Show no mercy to these invaders. That is all.
I don't like the idea of attacking my own countrymen, but well, the game says I have to, so maybe I'll kill these guys, like, intentionally so America will win. There you go. Speaking of clown shows, did you hear that Trump got arrested yesterday? Well, he got indicted and arraigned, and then he flew back down to Florida, his Mar-a-Lago mansion, and he gave one of the best speeches that he's ever given, that I've ever heard him give in his entire political career, and he's given a lot of them. But my take on all that so far, they say they've got 34 felony counts against him, all apparently related to 34 of these like documents that they claim that he was I don't know. They have not really revealed what was in the indictment. In the Manhattan, New York, New York City, New York, like district court or something, whatever that is. But anyway, they indicted Trump yesterday on he was formally charged with 34 felony counts. He pled not guilty to all of them. He was arraigned in court. Probably took his fingerprints and all that good stuff. And then they let him go. He flew down to Florida, down to Mar-a-Lago, and he gave one of the best speeches of his life. You can look for it on YouTube. It's pretty easy to find. But apparently, yeah, he's apparently the first former president of the U.S. in all of history to ever be indicted on felony charges. A lot of legal folks, they're speculating that these charges are, pun intended, they are trumped up charges, that they're really not supposed to amount to anything more than misdemeanors. They can't say for sure because the indictments had been sealed. The prosecutor, last name is Bragg, Bargg. He's bragging about how he's if he was elected to the district attorney's, New York's district attorney, he would prosecute Trump. That was his campaign promise, and he's made good on that promise. But he will not reveal what the charges actually are, which is weird because you would think if they had a cold cut case on Trump, they would have just let it all out into the public. But the only one that they're leading with is that supposedly he gave money to his campaign guy at the time, Michael Cohen, to give money to Stormy Daniels, who is an adult film actress that Trump allegedly had sex with back in 2006. Cheating on his wife back then, allegedly. And that's about all we know for sure that happened. But a lot of folks on both sides are pretty disappointed, underwhelmed, because the judge went fairly easy on Trump. I mean, he did let him go. And the main theory on that is the reason why the judge went a bit lenient on Trump yesterday was because the Secret Service was involved, and the Secret Service kept a tight lid on everything because the Secret Service, it's their job to protect former President Trump from everything. So the Secret Service undoubtedly made sure that Trump was not handcuffed and humiliated. That Trump was allowed to come to court. Here's the thing. The only reason why Trump was indicted was because Trump voluntarily turned himself in, meaning President Trump is a resident of Florida. He voluntarily flew up to New York to turn himself in to be indicted and arraigned, and then arraigned in court. The other charges were read to him and all that stuff. And then he was allowed to leave New York to return to Florida, where he gave his speech like later on that day, yesterday evening. So really, how serious are these charges anyway? We don't know. We do know that the prosecutor originally wanted the trial or the next hearing to be in January, which is right when the GOP primaries officially begin, which proves that this is all a politically motivated circus, essentially. And well, the judge moved it up to the next hearing up to December 4th, I believe. So Trump will be on the campaign trail at that point, and the judge said that Trump has to be in court for the next hearing, which what I was listening to earlier on the news was that the next hearing, all it is really just like a follow-up hearing. It's really not necessary for Trump to be there. They're essentially making the judges making Trump obligated to be there because it's going to interrupt his whole campaign trail. So yeah, a lot of Americans, according to certain polls, different polls, most Americans believe this is all politically motivated. It's just a big political show. And the fact that they won't reveal precisely what's in the indictment, they won't even talk about the charges. They just say that there's felony charges because the prosecutor, the district attorney, Bragg, he says that they're felonies. But this is at the state level of New York, but Bragg had mentioned that some federal charges or some federal laws had been broken. Had something to do with campaign. If it's campaign finance laws that were broken, those are all misdemeanors, and they are at the federal level. So outside of his jurisdiction, because he's only a state prosecutor, not a federal one. There were multiple federal outlets that would not touch the case. The Department of Justice would not touch the case. Who else was it? The Attorney General, was it Garland? He wouldn't touch a case. And ironically enough, Bragg himself originally would not touch the case. So you see what's going on here. There's a whole lot of, not very much going on there. So that's why a lot of people are thinking that this whole thing is just a big political smokescreen. It's just a sham, so to speak. Ironically enough, this came about 2 weeks after all those investigations were going on against Joe Biden, who they were finding all of these classified documents and in various he had different houses around the country where he had classified documents dating all the way back to when he was a senator. So it's like, the whole thing just smells really rotten. And anyway, that was the big news of yesterday. So thought I'd give you my take on it. I think it's all BS personally, but that's just me. But all right, let's get back to the action here.
Colonel Maldini has logged on. Data stream secure. Operation Polonius is a go. Repeat, Polonius is a go. Enforcer riflemen on the ground. Designated units 1 and 2. Riflemen are best against combat drones and engineers. All that heavy equipment engineers carry makes them easy to gun down. Copenhagen's uplinks are offline. We need to secure and reboot more than half to establish signal dominance.
Grab the uplink. Confirm.
This is Rapier. All squads upright.
Only infantry can secure uplinks. They are vulnerable in the open, so terrain must be used to provide cover.
Capture the uplink. Confirmed. Confirmed. In transit.
Now we're cooking. Echo, now that's military way. That's it. Sort them.
Confirmed. In transit. We will do it.
Transports ready to deliver reinforcements.
We get one try at least, so don't piss it away.
Infantry is most effective in hard cover.
We are in cover.
Saber here. We're at full strength.
Rapier here. Making a go for the uplink.
This is safe. Securing the uplink.
I've got your uplink right here. Check yourselves and get your faces
Moving out.
on.
Jack Bravo. We have secured it. Good job, Colonel. Securing uplinks boosts signal confidence. Lets us bring in reinforcements faster. We need to capture one more uplink to achieve our objective.
On the move, Central. We will do it.
My father told me I was mad to sign up. Maybe he was right about something.
Saber here. Securing the uplink.
This is Rapier. We are in cover.
How do I get myself out of this shit detail?
Cool.
Check Lima. It is secured. Superb command and control. We can win by keeping our hold on these two uplinks, waiting for the network to come back online. Or we can go for the knockout punch and capture the final uplink. It's your call. We can't let the Americans capture another uplink. Jack Center Quadrant. Hostiles are on the move. Eyes on JSF combat engineers.
We are under fire. There's no cover. Enemy is taking damage. Wait, confirm.
Check Unit 1. They're in trouble.
Taking fire. We have no cover. We are under fire and have no cover.
Hostiles sighted. Eyes on PD-6 Rottweiler combat drones.
Building is ours. Hostile taking damage. We are down.
We can let the hostile evacuate, or attack it again to finish it off. Center Quadrant. Hostile eliminated. North Quadrant. Hostile deploying. Eyes on B-120 Valkyrie. Check Center Quadrant. Hostile destroyed. Incapacitated units are out of the fight and cannot move. Kazivac is on the way. Hostiles in motion. Eyes on Warsaw tanks. Incapacitated units are out of the fight and cannot move. Kazivac is on the way.
This is Bitsay. Bound to its strike.
on board. We are lifting off.
On the move, Sister. Check West Quadrant. Hostiles in motion. Eyes on fastback IFVs.
Confirmed. In front. We are in cover. Confirmed. In front.
Private loaded. Outbound.
Kinda hard to control these guys.
Confirmed. In front. In front, second. We will do it. In front. We will do it.
Central Quadrant. Hostile sighted. Eyes on PD-6 Rottweiler combat drone. North Quadrant. Hostiles deploying.
Confirmed. Grab the uplink.
Mission accomplished. Copenhagen network back online. We have
All a
complete signal
booty.
dominance.
This is High Command. Cease all combat operations. The Americans have accepted my offer. They will release Minister Poulain in exchange for safe passage back to their troop carriers in the North Sea.
But General, with the network back online, we could vector in strike fighters.
For the moment, it is prudent to be merciful, Captain. We shall see how long this moment persists.
My guys got promoted. Yay.
With the smoke still settling in Copenhagen, the US and Europe have stopped just short of declaring war.
President Becerra still claims evidence of a conspiracy to destroy the Freedom Four, an accusation President Perot calls preposterous. Both leaders have agreed to meet for talks next week on neutral ground in London.
Meanwhile, the Freedom Four's rescheduled launch is set to go forward tomorrow morning.
Good evening, Colonel Saviloff. I assume it is obvious to you that I arranged the Forgotten Army's attacks on April 4th and also the incident in Copenhagen. These actions were a service to our motherland. How much longer do you think we'd have before the US and Europe found an excuse to ally against us, to take our oil? Realpolitik demands that we spark a war between our enemies before this can happen. Copenhagen took them to the brink. Tonight you will have the honor of pushing them over. Your forces will be disguised as Forgotten Army terrorists. Your objective is to capture a majority of the Rovaniemi air base's uplinks and upload a data virus codenamed Stiletto into Europe's missile shield network. If antiquated notions of morality prevent you from performing these duties, Colonel, simply speak up. I will have Major Noskov remove you from your command permanently. Otherwise, begin.
Okay. I gotta play as the Ruskies again.
Savilov is logged on. Data stream secure and untraceable. All forces disguised as forgotten army terrorists.
We are in position. Noskov did good job with disguise. We look so much like terrorists, we fool ourselves.
Rovaniemi's uplink network has been crashed. Mission objective is to secure and reboot more than half of uplink so we can upload Stiletto virus. Reinforcements are limited. Make sure we use them correctly. As soon as we secure an uplink, we can upgrade it to let us order in airstrikes. The hostile engineers defending this uplink are in cover. We will need riflemen to take care of them.
Moving, Colonel.
Trust your instincts. You're devil wolves and they're sheep.
Check Unit 5. They'll be crushed.
Your pulses race. Good. Good.
Grab uplink. We will do this.
Tortoise here. All being ready for combat. What is
Check Unit 5. Suppressed by hostile action. Incapacitated units are useless to us, but I will try to evacuate them automatically.
This is Sergei. Moving to evac.
These is aircraft. All squad company.
Grab uplink. We will do this.
This is Sergei. Survivors loaded. This is Sergei. Survivors loaded. This is Sergei. Invaded. Heading home.
Capturing uplink.
Check North Quadrant. Hostile neutralized.
Feet are bleeding again. I like your idea.
Chicks.
Upgrade uplinks. Secured uplinks can be upgraded by infantry. Upgrade uplinks is able to call mission supports. Upgrade several points to get stronger supports. Upgrade your battalion and the barracks to enable supports.
Sierra. We took it. Now let's upgrade it with an encrypted data feed so we can target airstrikes in this place.
This is the moment I have dreamed of. Let's do it! Kill that copter! Do not let them exit!
Let us hope this does not kill Spetsnaz.
This is the moment I have dreamed of. This is Flatman. You have orders now.
Okay, we move.
Ogre tanks will punch holes straight through IFV transports.
What is next? Rhino here. All beasts ready to fight. Moving, Colonel. My friends, let us hunt Big King. Affirmative, moving. We are moving.
Sensors are blind right now.
Affirmative, moving.
This is Wolfman. We are full strength.
East Quadrant. Hostile sighted. Eyes on Enforcer Grenadiers.
It is simple from
This
here.
is Rhino.
Kill them,
At destination.
or I kill you.
Affirmative. We move now.
Enemy is in sight. For this moment,
we are moving.
Pretty intense.
Affirmative.
They have this on the PC too. I thought about picking it up, but
Okay.
I don't know. I heard the PC version is, oddly enough, not as good as a console.
This is Rhino. All beasts ready to fight.
Wolfman here. We have cover.
This is Rhino. We are engaging the hostiles, yes?
Wolfman here.
Good shooting, comrade!
This is Rhino.
Check out.
Break them open!
Being taken by hostiles.
That is right to do it! Arm
Wolfman here. We are full strength. Grab uplink gun. Of course.
Right with you, comrade!
East Quadrant. Hostile destroyed.
Get his apple grip!
Dragonfly here. All copters strong. Da, on the way.
Check this. We secured it. Stiletto virus is uploading.
Excellent. Demolition is favored. Da, on the way. This is Dragonfly. What is next?
Check Unit 5. They'll be crushed. Check Zulu. Hostiles have secured it.
Okay, we are moving. Affirmative, Colonel. Okay, affirmative. Da, on the way.
This is Rhino. All beasts ready to fight. Affirmative, moving.
This is Dragonfly. In position.
Moving, Colonel.
Check center quadrant. Hostile sighted. Eyes on Panther tanks.
We are moving.
This is Dragonfly. Exterminate, of course.
Hostile sighted. Eyes on Cheetah gunships. Check Unit 5.
Attack is effective. Engage. Monster shot down. You have made
Check Unit 5. Losing effectiveness.
They gotta stop.
You can retreat damaged units if you take it easier. They never get better if they die.
This is Dimitri. Moving to evac.
This is Rhino. Da, we will engage. Fresh meat for our table.
This is Dimitri. Survivors order.
Hostile sighted. Eyes on Badger IFV.
We are engaging the hostiles, yes? We have made kills.
This is Dimitri. Stated. Heavy group.
On these fire.
Check center quadrant. Hostile neutralized. Check Unit 1. Check Unit 1. They're suppressed.
Duck is dead here. We move now. They have crushed us. Send evac.
Check Unit 1. Extraction requested.
This is Dima. Moving to evac.
I have flash counter on selector terminal.
Moonmoth here. All copters flying strong. Bring them dead, no problem.
This is Dima. Survivors loaded.
I have multiple tanks. Racks ready.
They will eat the dirt, no problem.
Check Foxtrot. It's being taken by hostiles.
We attack.
This is Dima. Made it. Heading home.
Have multiple units ready to deploy. Hostiles
We are engaging the hostiles, yes?
Check Unit 5.
Affirmative. It's an order.
They devour us. We are ineffective. Help us now with evac.
Check Unit 5. Extraction requested.
This is Dimitri. Moving to evac.
This is Fire Ant.
We are full strength.
Center quadrant. Hostiles are on the move. Eyes on Enforcer commandos.
Affirmative. We move now.
This is Dimitri. Survivors loaded.
We are moving. Da, on the way.
This is Dimitri. We made it. Heading home.
You have to keep your fluid intake up. Water damage will kill it.
In position. We are moving. Da, on the way. Of course. Da, on the way. Affirmative.
I don't think I'm gonna make it there in time.
Okay, affirmative.
This is Tanker. You have over now.
Center quadrant. Hostile sighted. Eyes on cheetah gunships.
Affirmative. We move now. Okay, affirmative. We are moving. Of course. Okay, affirmative. Affirmative.
They're right with you every step of the way. To hell!
This is Rhino. All beasts ready to fight. Okay, but we are not liking
This is Fire Ant. We are full strength.
Check center quadrant. Hostile sighted. Eyes on AMZ-26 infantry fighter.
Ah, my goodness. Yeah, I'm not gonna make this one. It's okay though. Now let's play it again. But I think I found a good stopping point. I played most of this tutorial. Later on, I'll get into the actual game itself. Probably do another live stream of this maybe later on.
This is Mastodon. All beasts, no problems.
Check Unit 5. They'll get butchered.
Movement here. We are full strength.
With the smoke still settling in Copenhagen, the US and Europe have stopped just short of declaring war.
President Becerra still claims evidence of a conspiracy to destroy the Freedom 4, an accusation President Perot calls preposterous. Both leaders have agreed to meet for talks next week on neutral ground in London.
Meanwhile, The Freedom 4's rescheduled launch is set to go...
Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a night here. Just want to give this old game a shot, see how it played out. Definitely gotten a lot farther in this game than I did the last time, which I remember was a long time ago. We're talking like, gosh, almost 10 years ago since I played this game. I think like 2014. Yeah, that was back when the world was a little saner. Now we're entering the Looney Tunes era of the world, where everyone's getting ready to go to war with each other. These are not happy times, folks. In case you haven't noticed, we're facing global inflation. Prices are going up everywhere. We have entire continents that we find out are allied against the U.S. Against the United States of America and everything. Basically, almost all of South America is allied with China. Africa is essentially allied with China and Russia. We have a few friends in Europe and in the Southeast Asia. The Philippines and Japan and Taiwan, some other countries over there. But really a lot of it is America essentially becoming like isolated, and not in a good way. Remember when last time America was this isolated was before World War II, when essentially the rest of the world was going to war, and America was just kind of left on its own. We were this heavily industrialized nation, but we didn't have any real enemies. Japan was turning into one, but they knew as long as we stayed out of the fight, America wasn't really going to do anything, except maybe send supplies to other countries that were in the fight. So now we're facing a different kind of isolation nowadays, where the U.S. The U.S. dollar is becoming devalued all over the world in favor of the Russian ruble and the Chinese yen, or yuan, however you pronounce it. Our dollar is about to be replaced as no longer the world's primary currency. So we're facing some serious economic problems in the near future. We're just seeing the tip of the iceberg of it right now, with inflation going up the way it is, but gas prices going up the way it is. Saudi Arabia recently, they're making peace with Iran, which doesn't look good for Israel. And Iran's working on their nuclear program again. Saudi Arabia cut like oil production and sales to the U.S. And U.S. is kind of responding in their own way. They're reopening Alaska, oil exploration in Alaska, because we do have a lot of untapped oil reserves up here. So things have to be in a bad situation, where of all things the Biden administration is reopening like oil leasing and production in Alaska, because they were the ones who originally essentially closed us off from any kind of oil production. So Russia's doing the Ukraine thing, of course. Not looking very good for Ukraine. If Ukraine falls, essentially becomes a bit of a domino effect for the rest of Europe, because who's next after Ukraine? Is it going to be Finland or Poland or whoever? As I said earlier, Africa is essentially allying with China and Russia, and as of this past weekend, Kamala Harris, worthless Vice President of the U.S., Kamala Harris, is now over there in Africa visiting with Tanzania and Ghana and some other countries over there. They all basically told Kamala Harris and the U.S. to fuck off, because America had been killing off African leaders over the years, and as the old American saying goes, the chickens are finally coming home to roost. And essentially, pretty much all of South America is now allied with China against the U.S. because the big players in South America, Brazil, and I forget what other countries, but they're all essentially socialist countries, not democracies. And they are finding it more beneficial for them to ally with China, because China is more of a friendly business partner to them. So this is kind of how the world is playing out, not too far removed from what you saw in this game here. We're kind of seeing the end war, so to speak. Hate to break it to you folks, but this next couple years is not going to be very fun for us. We're entering pretty dark times, and that's just the way it is. So on that happy note, I'm going to call it a night here. And if anybody is watching this entire live stream, thank you for watching. I appreciate the audience, as always. Well, let's hope to see you on the flip side. Till then, I am out of here. Peace.